She is trying to hide the fact that she's really excited. Put it on the stoic Torian face. She's failing miserably.
That's all right. I'll leave her in her shambles of honor. I'm not gonna press it or anything.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I toss a quick look at Cracks, but it's like, yeah, he would have made the purchase himself if he could.
Of course. But also, Cracks was of the mind of, we should probably afford the ship before we buy it, and this one we can afford, so that's why.
Yeah, because the ship fund doesn't include the 500k we were given for the mining spikes, so we'd only take 250 out of it, so we'd still have like 98k left. Yeah, Cattle at this point will say that he will ask for Entree's opinion on the matter. We know that Winnie's going to be initially against it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Entree.
Winnie's locked herself in the engine room.
How convenient. I walk in the door. Close the
well,
airlock.
speak of the Asari. Entree, we have a proposition from Tremilia and some of her friends.
Oh, she wishes to meld. Well, that would increase our battle operation, especially during ship-to-ship combat.
You can keep it in your pants for now, Entree. She has found a contact that... We can get ourselves a patrol boat. It will have a better engine. It will be better suited to warfare. It will be better suited to stealth. It is in a bit of disrepair. And it's kind of stolen.
Does it have a larger cargo hold?
A patrol boat is not built for cargo. It is built for
Our cargo
fighting.
hold, as is already 2 or 3 inches too small for the mining spikes we're going to have. We're going to have to shave things down, move panels. If you're thinking of buying a new ship for this mission, the mission tools should be a prerogative.
That is also a thing that should be taken in consideration.
You mentioned it was stolen?
It might be acquired by the other party by less than honest means. Yes.
I believe so was this ship. Well, it
Yes.
was acquired by the Alliance, and they're certainly less than honest.
Yeah, the Alliance... Who knows how they got it, really. And then we got it. And then we shot up a human colony with it, so... I would say that we're actually doing ourselves a favor by getting rid of this wanted ship.
This ship is hot. I already know that many people have eyes on this ship, and switching to... Honestly, almost switching to a ship that has some of its own drama in its past is better. Switching from a ship that is dramatic to a ship that is new, well, that's suspicious.
Yes, I did get a lot
every
of peeping eyes from the Blue Suns while we were on our way here.
Every ship has something strange. The hard part would be convincing Winnie, but I imagine by this point you showed me the details.
Oh yeah, I would have given you all the details and whatnot.
Considering we are essentially going to be starting a one-ship war against a small planetoid, perhaps upgrading our arsenal is a wise objective.
Not to mention the fact that our pilot is intimately familiar with the vessel.
Intimacy is a step towards success.
Alright, then we have a majority agreement that we will be making ourselves a new purchase.
Let Winnie down easy.
Ha!
Yeah. That's gonna be fun!
Majority agreement. Let Winnie down easy. Oh, man. Cattle, that's all you. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to pretend like you're either Kunsai or Will Call, because this is going to be fun. Oh, you bring popcorn?
I like how Winnie is the friendliest character we've ever seen, and we just keep pushing her buttons all the time.
It's Aaron, though, so I'm going to sit back and let you have this conversation, Cattle.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk down to engineering. I'm gonna knock on the door. Let's
I'll
firmly
be not-
bolt it down.
I'll be not far behind.
That
I'll
might
be
not be a
like-
bad idea.
Ollie,
I'll
stealth
be
check.
like,
Stealth checks. Nobody notices you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'll be
Stealth charisma to
idling
blend
in
in.
the engineering in the cargo hold.
So you knock, you don't get a response.
Oh my God, Will's actually in chat.
Uh,
Oh.
I will try again, and I will speak up. Winnie, I know you're in there. Only
I'm
you
not
can.
speaking to you,
lock
Captain.
Oh dear. Callow just braces himself for a moment. He knows what's going to come. He's already heard the commotion earlier when Tremilia tried. Winnie, it's going to be real awkward if you lock yourself in here and suddenly there's a bunch of other people on the ship.
That's fine. Maybe they won't sell the ship and all the work I've done on it.
Come on now, Winnie. You did a
Do
lot
you
of good
even
work.
know what I've done today? And I'll like go to like this huge rant of like the intricacies that were involved in this process of making like these areas like super secretive and secure.
It's funny because
Sci-Fi
you
chat.
understand technical stuff fairly well. There, Rick, the cattle understands this stuff pretty well, and certainly like has a rather vast vocabulary. However, she is intentionally choosing to use the biggest words in the most explanative and technical way possible, so that you are literally like, you're like, okay, wait, is she talking about that? I'm so lost right now.
Oh yes, it's
There's absolutely no
valid
way.
tactic.
I can get this done on a different ship in the amount of time that we need. It's just not possible.
You say that, but Tremilia and Krax have actually been on the ship. They know that it's sure it's not in the same.
Familia and Cracks can't do what I've done.
But you have to admit that this vessel was not built for what we're going to be doing on Pluto.
Can the other ship even fit what we're doing on Pluto?
Would I know that? Like, would I be able to run the quick head math?
Yeah. It's one of those things where the hull of that ship, because Taurian ships have a much longer design. You can actually see it when you play the Mass Effect games as you're on the Normandy, which is a human meets Taurian design. The hull of the ship is almost always at the bottom of it, and it runs like the length of the ship. So it would be able to fit it. It would just fit differently.
It's a stupid ship.
You have to replan everything.
I don't like it.
Yeah, but you can't admit that this ship was never. When we acquired it, it was not in a good state. I think we can all agree on that. You've done about the best you can with it, but there's still limits with this ship. We're gonna go to an icy planet. We're gonna try to blow up a base. There's gonna be fighters protecting it. There's gonna be potentially other patrol boats flying around. I'm not sure whether we would survive that in this current ship.
Woody's gonna be like really quiet for like a minute. And then say, well, I have to see the other ship first.
That's fine.
Fine. I'd open the door.
I'm gonna page Tremilia because it's her contacts. I'm like, good news is, Winnie's partially agreed to it. Bad news is she wants to go and inspect the ship first, which I can imagine shouldn't be a problem.
You immediately hear footsteps coming down the stairs, or the ladder, whatever, like as though she was waiting at the top of them, listening the whole time. And
Which
she's
is
coming
funny
down.
because it means both me and Tremi were like listening in nearby.
And Krax's bedroom's down there anyway, so he
Yeah,
was
Krax is like in his bedroom on his DS again.
intentionally trying not to listen, even though he's immediately next to the conversation.
Like you push up an extra board like against the window so to try and tune them out.
So she immediately walks down the stairs and she's like, yep, he already knows that we can be there in a couple of hours. Oh, it's really late. You don't mind? No? Good. Okay, well, we can head out.
I look at Winnie to make sure she's okay with it.
Door's still closed.
Oh wait, the door's still closed.
Wait, I have to ask you a question, Cattle. Were you hoping to trade this ship for that one?
I'm not sure. It wouldn't do as well to hold on to this hot potato. Of a
All right,
vessel
I'll
that's
fly
gonna
us down there then. You just strap in. I'm gonna go and take care of that. And she immediately starts like looping up the stairs, like whoop, 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 and you can hear the engines a minute later powering back online. And
Here's Callum's logic. This ship's already wanted by the entire alliance. We'd better ditch it now. But that's
I'm
gonna
on the
be.
record to stand that I hate you all.
Okay.
You're telling me nothing I haven't heard yet.
Okay. So as you guys are kind of doing whatever it is that you're doing, the ship comes online. Eventually, Cattle will have to join her in the cockpit to take care of the communications part of like departure and whatnot to fly around. Eventually, she's like, the other ship, I wouldn't need your assistance for this, but can you set up a signal scramble for me really quickly? Thanks. And as you flick on the scramble, she flies around a different part of the Omega base. It's one of those things where the scramble is to stop certain people from noticing because like they really shouldn't be caught doing what they're doing because it's technically super illegal. But like other people are already aware of the fact that this exists, and like if they really wanted to know it existed, they just have to like either break or pay the right person to know that it's there. It's Omega, you know what I mean? It's kind of like just don't be obvious and don't be a dick. Or if you're a dick, at least have a lot of money. So anyways, she flies her way around over into the area, gets permission to land inside of it, and you can see like literally as you guys are flying through there, one of the nearby bays opens up and torpedoes out a huge load of trash. It's one of those things where it's like, whoop! And the ship actually starts getting pelted by a bunch of the trash as it's getting torpedoed out. And so you guys down below, this would be Winnie and Cracks, are hearing like, the... that's not a metal on metal sounds. But like a lot of like I can't do metal on metal sounds. That's annoying.
I mean, that's about what I would expect though.
As well as like the thumps as the thing is pelting against the side of the hull or whatever, and eventually you kind of get through the cloud of where that is, and she's like, bet I could have avoided that, and makes her way into the thing, and she's really trying to hammer home the fact that she's not a fan of the ship. A little too excited.
That's been made clear day one.
A little too excited to be at the idea of being able to get rid of it. Lands inside the hangar and is, as I described beforehand, huge empty trash holding hull that instead has a bunch of ships lined up around it. So you guys can see like what the merchandise is for sale. And it's fun because as you look around, Cattle, immediately, you can't even see the whole hangar. It's too big for you to see the whole hangar. But you can check your scanners and you can see there's several different ships that are there that you're like, can we get these ships instead? Like, I would definitely prefer at least a half dozen of these ships instead of the one that she's offering. I personally would like that. You know what I mean? And
if money wasn't an issue.
Sure, that might be the reason, And so she lands, and immediately as soon as the ship's powered down, you can tell like it's annoying her how long it's taking to power down the ship. And then as soon as the ship's finally powered down, gets up and goes to leave the bridge. Now, where are you during this whole thing? Are you sitting there and watching her? Are you already waiting outside? Are you like in the doorway? Like,
I'd probably be at comms just in case, like doing the scrambling and other things, trying to make sure that we're, conspicuous.
Sure,
inconspicuous, rather.
Somebody does approach the ship, but it's literally one Taurian. Not like a group of people with guns or that. Literally one Taurian approaches the ship. One of the things that you notice as you flew into the hangar, they're huge friggin' turrets that were right at the mouth of the hangar, 4 of them, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, that easily could have blasted you out of the sky if they gave a shit to. You know what I mean? So one person comes walking up over to where your bottom floor airlock releases, so over by like where Crax's room is, your hall area, and he's waiting down there for you guys to come out. Does everybody come out?
Yeah.
I will definitely go and greet him.
Why not, right?
So
might as well see the new ship.
When Winnie comes out of her room, Tremi's like, "Hey, Winnie."
I'm not talking to you.
Okay, well, Entree, could you tell Winnie, a mutual friend of ours, that I think she's going to be very excited in a few minutes.
Tremella thinks you're going to be very excited by the...
Not talking to you either.
The ship. I don't know what I did.
Hey, Cracks.
No.
Could you let Winnie know that I'm sorry?
Crack just film it.
Yeah.
Cattle just walks past. Don't even try it. She's not talking to me either.
She's like, and walks off the ship to go meet up with the other person. Once again, she speaks in Torian to them. Who's the one that actually has the translator? You never gave it to
That's
Cattle,
correct.
you
Nope.
bastard.
Oh yeah.
I borrowed it once, I think.
Borrow it.
Oh, so unlike what I described to you earlier, you would have fully understood the conversation that Jay had with him, including the Torian insult, the Krogan insult, which was directly, of course, an insult about you, which turned into an insult about all Krogan in general. It wasn't her that said it; it was him that said it, and she went along with it. But also, didn't seem to really disagree with it, anyways. But that's okay.
We just insult Cracks.
Yeah, it was.
It gets more and more self-conscious as it goes.
It was in Torian. It's okay. It doesn't matter if it's in Torian. And so he meets up with you guys after she says hello to him or whatever in Torian, and he's like, "You're of course all welcome to inspect the vehicle. You can't bring it out for any test drives. As a matter of fact, you can't leave this hangar for 2 more days. Though of course you're able to work on it in the back half of it if there's anything you need to do between now and when it's able to leave, assuming that all credits get transferred cleanly by tomorrow night."
That will be arranged.
Well, why don't we go and take care of that then? And he walks over to the ship with you. And guys, you can immediately see from the outside, like I said, it's a mid-class Taurian frigate. It is sleek, it's slender in design, but very long. She's already told Cracks it's called the Iron Talon. She doesn't offer that information to anybody else. You can obviously see why it would have that name. Again, Taurian design. When you go onto the ship, you can see all sorts of gorgeous things in the ship. Like, for instance, you each have your own bedroom. As a matter of fact, the captain's quarters, because there is one, is lavish. You can tell that the captain's quarters, because there is one, even though many of the personal effects that probably had incredible value in them have been taken out of the quarters, so the personal things, it was originally designed for somebody that had a significant amount of money, or at least redesigned to be done so. So all of the meat and bones are there of a very lavish setup. And so kind of like that's one of the things I imagine Cattle would notice near the beginning of checking out the ship is, would this be my room? Everybody else would have their own quarters. And there's it can support up to, so it can comfortably support 15 people, including the captain. It can hold up to 30 people because the other 14 rooms each can have where the bed is situated that actually goes into the wall and 2 other beds come out. So it makes it so each room can be doubled up. But you know that the room the ship can actually handle even more of that if you're doing rotating shifts. So people are switching out bunks and whatnot. So definitely can hold more. When you go in to look at the bridge, you can tell that clearly this bridge requires a minimum of 5 people to make the ship function comfortably. You need your pilot, you need the captain, you need da-da-da-da-da-da. You need clearly these peoples to run it. If you want more people, say down in engineering to actually handle tasks, or because most of the power balancing and everything can be done up here on the bridge as opposed to down in engineering. You know what I mean? So all that stuff kind of changes and switches out. If you want additional people working artillery, you would need more people.
Would we need more crew for standard flying around, or is that just combat? We need all 5 people.
Even combat, if it's lighter combat, the 5 of you would be fine.
Because you did combat with just 2 people a second ago, didn't they?
They had other crew. They actually took.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't notice because I wasn't paying attention.
It wasn't a part you had to. So they actually took 8 people extra on there, so there were 10 of them total, and 3 of them left to go fly the human vessel, leaving 7 behind on the ship. But again, that's one of those things where if you were doing lots of heavy combat, you would definitely want extra crew. Because it makes things run more smoothly, but 5 people would run the ship fine. You know what I mean? Especially if it's just transportation here and there and whatnot. It's up to you, of course.
Considering we're gonna freaking try to blow up a planet, maybe we won't get more crew. Actually, that's a bit more issues.
So as you guys are looking around and you see all the different things you can see, so Winnie, what you notice is you walk in This engine room is a fucking mess. It is. Oh my God, look at the size of that engine. I haven't seen this since I left the flotilla. You know what I mean? And you go over and immediately you like walk up, you look around, you try to like find things to hem and haw about. You easily find them, of course. And you immediately go over and open up a panel and open it up and tap right into the VI. And when the VI steps forward in front of you and makes itself visible and able to communicate with you, one, it's Torian VI. Torian VI, as I described forever ago, I think session 3 or 2, as I described forever ago, Torian VI are very, very, very different from human VI on how it is that you give them their commands, their prompts, and so on and so forth. And it's something that you're actually very familiar with, that you worked with long before you ever worked on the human one, and it's comfortable. But more important than that, this VI is way more advanced. Oh my God. It's like you're trying to communicate with a human preschooler, and now you're dealing with a doctorate. You know what I mean? Like it is, so you give it a prompt, like, okay, can you run a systems diagnostics of this? And it says, of course. And it comes back with that, plus like hundreds of other systems diagnostics perfectly filed for you to kind of sift through as you need to. And you're like, oh my God, this is incredible. And so like there's huge upgrades, but clearly like issues that need to be worked out. The guns that Cracks had used before, they're not in the best of shape, and so they probably need to be replaced. The fact that they actually functioned as well as they did was probably more luck than anything else. So there's work that needs to be done on the ship.
Fucking Solarian gun though.
Yeah, that. You do have a good gun you can throw on there. So you work out all the details, you find out all the ups and downs of the ship, so on and so forth. Clearly there's work that needs to be done and money that needs to be spent into it. And so you go back out after you guys kind of like gather your thoughts together and go speak to the gentleman that's outside the ship. And he's standing there waiting, of course, to have the conversation. As you come walking out, he says, before you guys say anything else, Cattle.
Yes.
I was told, gesturing to Cracks and then back to you, I was told you're the one that I should speak to directly.
That is correct. I do look with Winnie to see if I get a thumbs up.
But they don't have thumbs.
I mean, she kind of shrugs.
I imagine you kind
That's
of
good enough for me.
Did that exchange even before you came out. He points over at the ship you guys flew in at, even though it's like way down there. He points in the direction. He goes, "You flew in that. That means that you intend to trade it. How much are you valuing that as? And it's with everything attached."
We did do some upgrades to the power plant. And I just go off listing all the things that's on there. Obviously, the fact that it's wanted, I will, in my head, like take a bit off of that because, it's not going to be... I'd reckon in the state that it's in, $1 million would be fair.
What do you actually have written down on your piece of paper? Remind me.
What, like how much money we have or how much the
How
ship
much
is
it's
worth?
Yeah.
1,630,000.
There you go. So you're saying
Plus
1 million?
extra.
Yeah.
Okay. He thinks about it. He's like, all of your personal belongings, all your scrap metals, everything else, anything that links you to that ship, can you remove it?
That can be done.
How quickly can you have it stripped down?
I look at the crew. Easily, like a day or so. Not even that, a couple of hours perhaps. We're going to be carrying scrap all over the place, but I don't imagine it should take too long.
You give me that ship 250,000 credits on top of it, and I will provide to you tons of crew to remove everything you need off of that ship and bring it over to yours. No fuss. Nice and easy. They'll put it with things where you want. They'll treat your stuff with respect.
Sounds like a deal.
He looks to the rest of the crew to see if there's any, like, emotions happening amongst them. Tremmy's, of course, like, trembling.
No, Winnie actually looks like she's okay right now.
Mm-hmm.
She's looking like she's like indignant just for the sake of being indignant, but she's fine.
Okay. So when everybody seems to be fine with it, he walks over and then he puts out his hand for a human handshake.
I look at it and I go, human gesture. Amusing. And I will, of course, return the favor. I will shake his hand.
When you shake his hand, he goes, I thought this is how you generally did business. It's what Cracks did.
Cracks has a
Cracks is
fascination for the human gesture.
Pips up and says, "I'm just trying to learn etiquette."
All right, transfer the funds. I'll get the crew on it. Welcome to your new home. Is it still going to be known as the Iron Talon, or?
I look at Tramilla. Is that the name
Cracks
you
is, like,
flew it
nodding
under?
his head.
She nods.
It's a stupid name.
Yeah.
We're gonna have this all over again.
And with that, we will end this session. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's only 2 hours long. Fucking Comcast. Even still, I still.
Okay.
I mean, it's 2 hours more than I was expecting. So.
Yeah, right. Without, I mean, I still dropped 2,810 frames this entire time, which is just like, it's not as bad as it could have been. I honestly can't complain too much. I'm just paying for a service and not receiving it. So, I will turn it over to Rick. Who are you? How can we find you?
Hi, my name is Rick. I also go by Derp Digital on YouTube. With the new year, I'm actually putting out videos again. Currently I'm playing Rimworld. I landed in Extreme Desert with a guy who can't research hydroponics. It's great. I made it super hard. I started off hunting mega spiders because how else are you gonna get food? Am I right? It's a mess. It's glorious. You should go and watch it. I'm also playing some They Are Billions, which is an RTS in which you basically build a base and survive against waves of zombies. It's pretty neat so far. Video should be going back up tomorrow, I think, if I get the editing done tonight. I also might start streaming again starting of next week. I'm currently waiting to hear when other things are going to schedule, and then I can plan around that, so soon.
They Are Billions. That's a survival game. It's just go until you die. There's no win.
Oh no!
There is a win.
Oh, there is. Okay.
It's RTS.
Well, I wasn't sure because that's like that's like a popular thing now. Play until you lose, I figure, or unless it's like Civilization, build a rocket ship and leave, and that's how you win. So.
I'm pretty sure there is an endless mode now, but the default is like, survive for X amount of days.
All right, now Ollie, who are you? How can we find you?
Ollie, known as Ollie Rant around these parts. I'll tell you, this ship is exactly big enough for the 5 of us. Look, sometimes not everything is good. I usually have a D&D stream in an hour, but I won't. But I will have a stream in probably like an hour and a half, because usually I rush to like shovel food in my face to do the D&D stream in an hour. I ain't rushing today. So we don't have our regularly scheduled programming, but there will be something. I can't promise what it will be because multiple ideas might change, and I have hiccups. I also do art streams on Tuesday and Friday, and afterwards I play Rimworld, where you can see me and Frank, we just became lovers. It's true. And on Sunday, I'm going to try and bring back Dragon Age.
Yay!
So I played that for like a week, and it broke. So, it's me.
Well, that's fun.
Check it.
Dragon Age. I was just talking about Dragon Age with somebody recently. I think we were talking about lore or something, and that's what kind of led to that conversation. Oh, that's right, because we were talking about something with Mathis. That's right. Frank, who are you? How can we find you?
Hi, I'm Controller Frank. You can find me at Controller Frank on Twitch, Twitter, wherever. I do stuff sometimes. That's about it. That's me. I play here. I'm Oliver's lover.
Oliver's
Very passionate.
Do you look in his eyes when you make... Never mind. Erin, who are you? How can we find you?
I'm Erin. I am here. I'm on the Discord. I am Rinson on the things, and I play D&D with Scott and Ollie on Wednesdays and Fridays.
Fun. And I'm Delric. I was thinking about maybe doing another thing today since we're not playing D&D, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go to a meeting instead and do like work stuff. So you won't see me until you find me on Lost Initiative tonight, wherein Mathis and I are going to be fools. So, that whole thing. Bye. I gotta click the buttons. There they are.
Just kill it. Just
Quickly.
kill it.
Quickly, I can't wait forever.